You see, ego is when you cling. You say, hey, I'm the president of this organization, and I'm proud of it. Pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. So you see, what I want, it isn't what I want, what I've been working on for years to try to eliminate ego problems, to try to talk to architects about safety, elevator, fireproof buildings, and if I die, great if you carry that out. I don't give a hoot about a medal or a medal for doing certain social things.
Jack, I'm just going to read out one quick text and then we're going to go for the break. I wish I had your hope and I'm 40 tomorrow. I don't know who that's from. Right, we're going to go for our break now. Once again, if you'd like to text in your questions or comments to Jacque Fresco and Roxanne Meadows, please do so now. Just text 87778 with the word EDGE and then your text. See you very soon. Welcome back to On the Edge with me, Theo Chalmers, and my special guests, Jacque Fresco and Roxanne Meadows. Just before the break then, we were talking about how it might work, but I still don't really have a great understanding of what exactly is the Venus Project.
Okay. The Venus Project is an approach to the problems we have today and a possible solution. What the Venus Project really says, if you don't want war, if you don't want crime, if you don't want sneak attacks, if you don't want highway robbery, serial killers, what you must do, if you don't want those things, is declare the earth the common heritage of all the world's people and take away all the artificial boundaries that separate people and share the resources of the earth. What is needed is the intelligent management of the earth's resources. But when few nations control the water or control the energy or control the resources of the world, there's always going to be invasions, troubles, wars, depressions, unless you do these things. You don't have to agree with me. Think about it and see if you can find fault with it. I'd be happy to learn how to make it better. And I'd be happy if you have constructive criticism. But if you say that'll never work, that doesn't tell me anything. When a teacher says that's wrong, it doesn't tell children anything.
So would it be an end to country states, you know, cities?
Yes. Yes. If you don't do that, you're going to have trouble over and over again. Wars are getting worse. Universities are better equipped than ever today. And the wars are getting worse, the bombs are getting worse. We have 300 submarines in America. Each one has more destructive power than all the wars in history. Now what the hell can you accomplish with that? You have to be extremely stupid, naive to build that sort of thing that'll wipe out everybody on Earth.
Well, maybe there are other motives for building it. You know, maybe it's about profit. Maybe it's about controlling the planet.
Well,
maybe America's...
I know what it's about. It's about that. Trying to get the resources. Where do you think Americans got America? They stole it from the Indians, the Mexicans, the Spaniards. After they stole all the land they need, they put up the sign, thou shalt not steal.
Well, they bought some of it from the French.
That's the same for Britain. They said the sun never sets on Britain. Where the hell did they get all that land? They took it by slaughter and killing.
Well, hold on, they bought some of it from the French. They bought some more of it from the Russians.
Most nations are corrupt. All of them are corrupt, not some of them.
I have no doubt that's also the case.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying abolish all countries, one world government.
I'm not saying that.
One world government.
I'm not saying that. I said we're putting out the Venus Project as a possible alternative. If the world people decide to join, we will share resources. If some nations won't, they won't decide to join. So they don't get the benefit of this total global system.
Okay, well, Sue in Cornwall says, when will Venus be built?
That depends on how much work you do, and if you like the Venus Project, how much work you do, and what people do. Roxanne and I have no power at all. We merely submit a possible alternative. It's up to people to say, I don't think it'll work, and it won't work then.
Jacque, if people identify with us, then go to our website, thevenusproject.com, the Zeitgeist Movement, the UK project, where we're gathering all of the scientists and technologists who want to help, all the CAD and animation people.
There's a website called www.thezeitgeistmovementuk.com. That's one of the main ones, isn't it?
And the zeitgeistmovement.com and the venusproject.com. The Zeitgeist Movement is the activist arm of the Venus Project.
Jacque, you're 93. I hope you don't mind me saying that, since I said it in the intro, and I know you don't mind saying it. Do you think you'll see this in your lifetime?
I don't think about that at all. I do the best I can to try to make it possible. If people don't recognize it, I've done all I know how to do. I have no, I'm not psychic. I just deal with probability. The probability is that we'll kill each other, that we will not achieve that, because the rate of damage is increasing. We're polluting the oceans, fish are dying, whales are dying, the atmosphere is being poisoned, the water table is rising up, and the rate of damage is so fast that we don't have enough time to wait for people to become smart. We want to make motion pictures to help people understand not what Fresco likes, but what the conditions are today. It isn't me that's saying I want to control people. I don't.
No.
But I've taken a lot of time out. You know, I'm 93 years old, and all I do is work on problem solving, not pointing out this guy's a crook and that system isn't working. What do you do about it? That's all the Venus Project is about. Making airplanes safer, cars safer, education for everyone, whether you got money or not, medical care from birth to death, doctors that are brought up to feel good because they see the end of poverty, hunger, slums, not a doctor that works for money. I don't trust those guys.
I've got to say, a lot of texts we're getting in are very positive about you. I mean, a lot of people are inspired by you.
It's always been positive.
Since the Zygites
And a lot of people are
movement-
thanking you. Sorry.
Yes, excuse me. Since the Zygites addendum introduced this direction to the world, we have a lot of people out there who are working towards it in every way that they can.
How can people, if people want to support
They
your
invited
dream?
us to China to talk about the Venus Project. For me to design new cities, new buildings, everything. That's why. So Roxanne and I went to China. They gave us return tickets and they treated us with the red carpet and all that. Mm-hmm. And then we found out that I was supposed to speak to 1,500 students in their universities. It never came off, because the guy that invited us out there ran away with the money. Instead of giving people return tickets, they caught him in Las Vegas. So I never got a chance. Then they invited us to Iceland to tell what the Venus Project is. They gave me 7 minutes.
This
I
is
couldn't
not
do that in
happening
7
now, though.
minutes.
People are asking Jacques to speak all over the world.
Well, you've just been to Copenhagen, haven't you?
That's right. We just came
And
from
it
a
was
very
sell out,
large
wasn't it?
lecture in Copenhagen. Jacques is asked to speak in many universities all over the world.
And Saturday, this weekend, he's speaking at the City University in London.
That's right.
Two lectures.
Two times. You can go onto our, well, actually all the tickets are all sold out for both lectures.
Okay.
After this, we go to Mexico in a couple of weeks, where he's doing another keynote lecture, and he's getting an International Design Award for 2009. And then we're off to El Salvador for a 2-day seminar about the Venus Project. So people all over the world are trying to introduce this the best that they can. Every single month we're in a new beautiful magazine, a very large spread with all of Jacques' designs in them practically, and all except for the United States. They are not touching it. But all over the world they're doing
Let's look at another bit of your
information.
film, because this is about, well, perhaps, Jack, you can talk over it once it starts. I think this is to do with living at sea, isn't it? Can we get that film up now? Please? Pretty
Okay,
please.
you want me to describe it?
Yes, please. Here we go.
In the future, instead of taking one container off a ship at a time, the ship costs over $1 billion. It ties it up for 3 days. So the whole container section floats off the ship. That gives you 3 times the carrying capacity. All those ships are showing the whole container section removed off a ship, rather than one at a time. That's how we raise the standard of living of everybody quickly. Bridges will be designed with single cables. This was designed a long time ago, this film. Today they're beginning to do that. All bridges are prefabricated and assembled in prefabricated methods. The trains, as you see, are suspended beneath the bridge. This is cities in the sea. The function of cities in the sea is to rebuild the reefs. Because the United States Army, 40 years ago, dumped 65 tons of nerve gas off the coast of Miami. How can you love the country and do those things? So we want to build these cities in the sea for oceanography studies, reclaiming the reefs, and cleaning out the garbage we've been dumping into the ocean for years. That has nothing to do with ego at all.
And not to
They're
mention
process level.
Bikini Atoll,
What's
where
that?
you set off all your nuclear
How
weapons.
stupid can you be?
Well, what, I
Anyway,
have
let's
no
get back to-
power.
Sorry, Jake, let's
These are industrial plants at sea for mining. The oceans are filled with resources, pharmaceuticals, and earthquake cities in the sea that are floating will house thousands of people, some cities hundreds of people. It will vary.